Hello, dear students. Welcome to the online education of Class 7 Science. So, dear students, I have been doing the revision for the midterm examination. So, in the previous class, I have started the first lesson, revision part. So, first portion of the lesson I have completed, and let me continue the remaining part of the first lesson. Okay. So, here other modes of nutrition of the plants we have been learning. So, in that, the first type of nutrition, that is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay. So, in case of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, so there are some plants which do not have a chlorophyll and which cannot make their own food. Hence, these plants get their food directly from the another plant, like humans or other animals. Okay, so these plants they use a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. For example, there are some kinds of plants which are yellow in color and have a tubular like structure, okay, which are twinning around a host plant, around a stem and branches of a host plant or a tree. Okay, so this type of plant we call it as cascuta or a marble plant. Okay, so this is a yellow colored plant. Okay, I mean it does not have a specific branches, specific parts of the plant. Okay, so it is just a yellow colored wire like structure and twinning around some big tree. Okay, so this plant gets the food directly from the host plant because it does not have a chlorophyll and do not prepare its own food. So that's why it takes the ready-made food from the plant. Okay, look at the picture. You can see the cascuta plant, yellow very like structures. Okay, you can see here. So these plants, these are the cascuta or a marble plant, we say. It grows attached to the twinning around the bigger tree. Okay, so such plant is called a marble or cascuta. So it is a heterotrophic mode of nutrition it has. Okay, so the plant on which it climbs, it is called a host plant. Okay, so since this plant gets its food from the host plant, of the gets the food from the plant from which it gets the nutrition, that's why it is also called parasite or parasitic plant. So that's why don't get confused, dear students. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition or parasitic mode of nutrition, both are same. See, question can be asked, what is heterotrophic mode of nutrition or what are parasites? So answer will be the same. So next type of nutrition is, that is insectivorous mode of nutrition. See, there are, you may feel wonder, so there are some plants which can trap the insect and get its food. So for example, the another plant is there, that is pitcher plant. So what happens here, these plants they trap the insect and if get its digest its food for its day-to-day life. Okay, I mean in the sense, in order to make its plant to grow, so it traps the insect and use it as its food. So what happens here in this plant, the pitcher like structure, it is the modified part of the leaf. Okay, so leaf is modified into pitcher like structure and apex of the leaf is converted, forms the lid. Okay, so apex part of the leaf becomes a lid, so that which can open and close on the structure called pitcher. Okay, so it can automatically open and close the mouth of the pitcher. So inside the pitcher there are hair like structures which are directed downwards. So when an insect comes and sits on the pitcher, so automatically the lid closes. Okay, and the insect is trapped inside the pitcher and it gets entangled into the hairs of the pitcher. Okay, so immediately what happens, the insects release, the pitcher releases the digestive juices which can digest the insect, and it will absorb its nutrients. So such insect eating plants are called insectivorous plants. Okay, so next here you can look at the picture here. So the picture of a pitcher plant, it is a picture shaped apex of the leaf lid also you can see here. Okay, so next type is saprotrophs. Okay, so we also call it as a saprotrophic mode of nutrition. You might have seen the mushrooms growing on a waste, on the soil, moist soil, or sometimes you might have grown that umbrella like shaped grown in the moist soil, even on the rotting matter. Okay, so rotting wood during the rainy season, you can see brown colored things, so you should not touch them and eat them because they are a poisonous one. See, what kind of plants they are, we call them as saprotrophs. Even on the bread they grow. Okay, see, these are actually, these organisms we should call them as fungi. They are not the plants, they are actually fungi. So they don't have a different mode of nutrition. Okay, so what they do is they secrete the digestive juices on the dead and decayed matter. What they do, they secrete the digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter. Wherever the dead matter is there or decaying matter is there, they secrete their juices and they convert them into a solution. They convert them into a solution. They form, then they absorb those nutrients from them. Okay, so this is what the mechanism they follow. They don't have any chlorophyll, they don't prepare their own food, so just they secrete the digestive juices on those dead and decayed matter, and that decayed matter converts into solution. So that solution they absorb as a nutrients from it. Okay, so this mode of nutrition, we call it in which the organisms take their nutrients from the dead and decayed matter. Okay, so such kind of nutrition is called saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so the plants which use the saprotrophic mode of nutrition, we call them as saprotrophs. Okay, so for example, fungi. See, you might have wondered, see, when you keep the pickle dabba for 6 months and come back to home and see, you will see the fungi growing on them. So this is nothing but the fungi. Okay, saprotroph. So they eat on the dead and decayed matter. Okay, so even if you leave the clothes in a wet place, or leather shoes and all articles that are left in a hot and humid weather for long time, so they get automatically eaten by the, I mean, occupied by these fungi. Okay, so they grow on these things only. Okay, so in the last type of nutrition, that is symbiotic mode of nutrition. So here what happens, two animals live together. Okay, so the some organisms they live together and share shelter and food or nutrients. Such kind of nutrition we call it as symbiotic relationship or symbiotic method of nutrition. So here what happens here, the two animals live together and help each other. For example, certain fungi lives in the roots of the plants. Okay, the tree provides the nutrients to the fungus. Okay, and in return it receives the water and nutrients from the soil. Okay, what happens here, the tree provides the nutrients to the fungus. Okay, whereas in return the tree receives the help from it, from the fungus, to take up the water and nutrients from the soil. Okay, this association is very much necessary for the tree, because there is an exchange. It provides the nutrients for the fungus, whereas fungus helps to absorb the water and nutrients from the soil. And more best example is about the organisms called lichens. So here a chlorophyll containing algae and a fungi live together. Okay, see, the fungus provides, see, fungus is an organism which cannot prepare its own food, so hence it provides a shelter for the shelter, water and minerals for the algae to prepare the food, whereas in return algae prepares the food and provides the food for the food which prepares, and by the process of photosynthesis, and provide the food for the fungi. So in this manner there is a symbiotic relationship takes place. A question can be asked like this: what is symbiotic relationship, or what is symbiotic mode of nutrition? Give 2-3 examples. Okay, this can be 3 marks or 5 marks, like that it can be asked. Okay, so dear students, I hope you have understood, and any doubts are there, you can just drop a message to me in the WhatsApp.